What's up, everybody? Welcome to GameFreak. Today, we are going to talk about the 5 boxing games that I thought were the best ever made. And this is running back, all the way back to the Atari 2600 to the modern consoles today. So, some of these games were really good, while others were just a total pile of trash. But man, boxing is just one of those sports that you don't even have to be a sports fan and you can enjoy a boxing game. Because let's face it, sometimes you're just having a bad day and you want to beat the crap out of something or somebody. And if you do it on a video game, you're not going to get in trouble. It gets a little bit of aggression out, and I can appreciate that. So let's dive in to my top 5 boxing games of all time. At number 5, we have Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing. Now, this is a boxing game that was developed by Acme Interactive and published by Sega in 1992, and was released for the Mega Drive, Genesis, and Game Gear consoles. It was followed by a sequel in 1993, Greatest Heavyweights, which featured a number of improvements. But this game features Evander Holyfield and over 28 imaginary fighters. It uses 2D sprites seen from a side-on view, combined with a top-down map of the ring to allow boxers to move 360 degrees about the ring. The cartridge utilizes battery-backed RAM to save a player's progress. This game also offers a career mode. After about 25 fights, your attributes start to decrease. After 40 fights, your boxer will retire. The other really cool thing is that this game showed scrapes, cuts, and blood after dealing or taking damage during the fight. This game felt and looked way ahead of its time. At number 4, we have Knockout Kings. Knockout Kings 2000 for the PlayStation, the boxer sprites are for the first time facially representative of their real-life counterparts. Championship bouts can last up to 15 rounds. Sound and music volume can be adjusted in the option mode. In between rounds, users may see either a ring card girl, a replay of part of the previous round, or the boxer the user is representing sitting in his corner together with the statistics so far of the bout. Injury to the face of boxers can also be recognized, as well as his mouthpiece flying out if he is hit by a hard punch. A created boxer in career mode can now fight in all modes. The training mode with career mode is more specific. Users can now control their boxer while he is training, and in the PlayStation version, users can also choose the location of the gym. Each boxer in the PlayStation version can also be seen entering into the ring just before the bout takes place. There is also a new mode where the player can see the statistics and biography of all the real-life boxers in the game, and another mode in which the player can relive famous classic bouts. At number 3 on the list, I have Mike Tyson's Punchout. This is a 1987 boxing video game developed and published by Nintendo for the NES. Part of the Punch-Out series is an adaptation of the arcade video games Punch-Out, which came out in '84, and Super Punch-Out, also '84. Differences from the arcades include the addition of undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Mike Tyson as the final boss. It received critical acclaim and is retrospectively considered one of the greatest video games of all time. Punch-Out features Little Mac, a young boxer fighting his way up through ranks of the World Video Boxing Association. After facing a series of colorful, fictional opponents in 3 circuits and winning the championship in each, Little Mac enters a final dream fight against a highly skilled boxer. In the gold version, the final boss is Super Macho Man, who is also the final opponent in Super Punch-Out. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out features Mike Tyson, the real-life heavyweight champion of the world at the time. After the license to use Tyson expired, he was replaced by the fictional Mr. Dream. At number 2, we have Fight Night 2004. This game was developed by New FX Incorporated. It features Roy Jones Jr. on the cover. Its chief features are a career mode, in-depth and reasonably realistic fighting and analog stick-based control scheme dubbed Total Punch Control, which was reused with enhancements in the sequels. With Total Punch Control, most maneuvers, including punching, leaning, and blocking, are performed with the left or right analog sticks, modified by the left or right triggers. For example, with the default controller configuration, moving the right analog stick up and to the left will cause the fighter to throw a straight punch with his left hand, while holding down the right trigger while performing the same movement and then holding R1 will cause the fighter to raise his guard to the left side of his head, ready to attempt a parry. And finally, at number 1, we have Fight Night Round 3. This was developed by EA Chicago in 2006. It is the third boxing title in the Fight Night franchise. It features the usual improvements, such as better graphics and gameplay. Impact punches are one of the most drastic changes, along with ESPN Classic fights and a new career mode in which the player fights to gain popularity in order to reach sponsored fights or to be featured on ESPN. Unlike in older versions, Round 3 defaults without a heads-up display, allowing a player to judge the status of their stamina and energy based on their stance, movements, and facial features, instead of the usual stamina meter. The roster consists of 27 licensed fighters. Fight Night Round 3 allows open weight bouts. This means everyone on the roster can fight one another in exhibitions. The official roster allows recreations of such fights as James Toney versus Roy Jones Jr. Alright, so there are my top 5 boxing games of all time. I know there's a lot out there. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Maybe you like these 5 games, but you don't like the order of them. Just let me know. I think it's pretty crazy that, games like Mike Tyson's Punchout, which came out in, 87, is still in my top 5. Like, I know it's a bunch of fictional characters and everything besides Mike Tyson, but that game was so fun, man. It had such an impact in video games. And then, like, Evander Holyfield, Real Deal Boxing, man, that still, stands up pretty well today. I mean, I think it was way ahead of its time because it's the first boxing game that I can remember where it's like, oh, this is cool, man. The guy's, bleeding, his eyes puffed up and stuff. That was a neat feature, man. And I knew they did that in, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but they only showed it, during the rounds. During the fight, the guy's face wasn't messed up or anything, so I thought it was really cool how Sega did that for Evander Holyfield's boxing. And then I forgot to mention in Fight Night Round 3, you have press conferences, so you can talk crap and make rivalries and stuff. So that's another feature that I thought was really big on that game. The first Fight Night 2004 was great, and I think it paved the way for them to just improve. And Round 2 was really good too, and I wanted to put that in there, but I just was like, you know what, 2004, man, that one really paved the way for these fight nights, and I hope that we get another one. Now, there is another boxing game coming out. It's been in development for 3 or 4 years. I think you can play it online. It's called Undisputed, and it looks absolutely amazing. At some point, it's supposed to get to a console. I don't know when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen still, but I'm really looking forward to that. I got a soft spot for boxing. It's something that, at one time in my life, I was like, man, I wouldn't mind going to a boxing gym and stuff. And I was going to do that because I played hockey and I was kind of the enforcer and I was, getting in a lot of fights. I was like, man, there's some people with some boxing skills on the ice, and I was at the other end of that a couple times. I could tell just the way I got hit and stuff. But yeah, boxing, man, even if you're not a sports fan, these boxing games are just something that I think everyone can enjoy. So let me know what you guys think of the list. If there's a game that I should have put on there, yeah, I'd love to hear. Just leave in the comments. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out this channel a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. And until the next video, game on, everybody.